What if gratitude wasn't something that you had to try to feel? What if it just lived in you, steady, spacious, and real? Hi, I'm Janet Mohapi-Banks, and I'm a best-selling author of my book, The Habits for Happiness, and a transformational happiness coach for high achievers and soul seekers who wake up feeling empty despite their outward success. Using my unique methodology, the Mohapi Method to More, which blends neuroscience, psychology, spirituality, and manifestation, all of which are underpinned by mindset work, I help you to go from burnt out and dissatisfaction to living a life that really does feel as good as it looks without losing your ambition, diminishing your dreams, or settling for less. So, if you'd like a taste of how my work can help you, I invite you to join me in my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. The link is in the description. Okay, let's talk about something a lot of high achievers don't expect to struggle with, but secretly do. You know what you should feel thankful for? But that deep, satisfying sense of real gratitude, well, it just doesn't land, does it? Not because you're not trying, but because no one ever taught you how to really feel it. Yeah, you're doing gratitude with your head, but not with your heart. And without realizing it, gratitude becomes just another thing on your to-do list. The list becomes routine. The words feel hollow, like they're meant to change you, but somehow nothing actually shifts. You might have even asked yourself, like, why isn't this working for me when it's obviously working for so many other people? So, because I've been there, here's what I know. It's not because you're ungrateful. It's because you've been doing what most of us were taught to do, and that's using your mind to manage your emotions. But while your mind can understand gratitude, your body needs to actually feel it to believe it. You see, your body responds to presence, to truth and safety. So if your nervous system is still bracing itself for a possible attack and your beliefs are still tethered to achievement, performance, and responsibility as the proof that you're doing enough or that you are enough, of course those words just aren't going to land, right? They don't register as transformation. They actually register as just more pressure. And pressure shuts the door on presence. Like I say, I know this because I've lived it. Years ago, I ran one of London's top luxury wedding cake businesses. I had features on TV and in wedding magazines, and I had incredible clients. On paper, I was wildly successful, but inside, I was quietly unraveling. After one interview revealed that I hadn't trained formally, something just snapped and imposter syndrome kicked in full force. I felt like I had to prove myself every single day just to justify being where I was. So I worked harder, I pushed through exhaustion, and I worked 36-hour shifts while raising two young children to make the best possible cakes available. Because, imposter syndrome's best friend is, of course, perfectionism, right? And over time, the joy that once pulled me forward was replaced by something else, like a low level panic. I had a subconscious belief that if I stopped, even for a second, then it would all fall apart. And eventually, of course, that became a self fulfilling prophecy. I became violently ill. I couldn't eat and I could barely function. And doctors told me that I was slowly starving to death. I shut the business down. My marriage unexpectedly ended, and I was suddenly alone raising two autistic children, completely burned out and terrified of what the future could hold. That's when I learned about the practice of intentional gratitude. And trust me, I really wanted it to work. I really wanted to feel hopeful again. So, as the good student that I am, I wrote in my journal, I am grateful for my health. But my body knew that I wasn't healthy. When your body is falling apart, writing, I am grateful for my health, well, it feels like lies and betrayal. doesn't feel empowering at all. In fact, it feels like gaslighting because the body knows what's real and it won't be overridden, not even by good intentions. So, if you've ever found yourself writing gratitude lists of what you think you should feel instead of what's actually true in the moment, and then not making a difference to you, that doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that you're honest. You've been doing the gratitude the way you were taught to, but what you were taught left out the most important part. Gratitude isn't a mental exercise. It's a full body experience, and that only happens when your nervous system feels safe enough to receive it. My turning point didn't come from a gratitude list. It actually came from a free local newspaper that I normally threw out, and in it there was an advert for a chiropractor, so I called. During my 6th appointment, she adjusted my spine and released my vagus nerve. The next morning, I woke up pain-free for the first time in 5 years, and that was when it happened. Not a thought brought about by a technique, but a wave of deep, full-bodied gratitude and appreciation. And that's when I knew that before I was doing gratitude like I used to do everything else. I was working really hard. I was being really diligent. I was trying to get it all right. But guess what? Right? Doing that, it's the same pushing energy that had gotten me into trouble in the first place. And that's when I realized that gratitude isn't something that you do. Yeah. It's something that you let in. That's when appreciation becomes more than just a list. It becomes a frequency, a properly true felt experience, and a way of moving through the world. So if your gratitude lists aren't working, here's something to try instead. Yeah. I want you to choose just one thing, just one. Yeah. Maybe something small, but something real. Yeah. Like the smell of your coffee in the morning, or the sound of your child's laughter, or the sunlight on the kitchen floor. Then get your energy into your body and ask, what would my life be like without this thing in it? How did this moment find its way to me? Or what does my body feel when I really let myself notice this? You're not trying to force a feeling, you're creating space to receive it. Because even that small intention tells your brain that it is safe, that you're allowed to feel this way. And in that one moment of presence, that's when everything starts to change. Your reticular activating system begins filtering what's good. Your breath then deepens and your shoulders relax. Your energy softens. And suddenly you're not performing gratitude anymore. Suddenly you're actually living it. Yeah. And that's magnetic because the universe doesn't respond to the words that you say, it responds to the frequency that you hold. When you're genuinely appreciating the moment, not because it's perfect, but because you're present, that's when life starts reflecting that same energy back to you. And you really do start to feel more joy and more connection and more ease. Not because you had to earn it, but because you created space for it. And obviously, that's what I want for you. A life where gratitude isn't just another item on your to-do list, but who you are. So if something clicked in you as you watched this, I invite you to join me in my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. It's grounded in neuroscience. It's deeply, deeply nourishing, and it walks you back to the safety, clarity, and joy that already lives within you. The link is in the description. And if you haven't seen it yet, I invite you to go watch the Mindset Shift for True Success. It really sets the stage for everything we've talked about today. I look forward to seeing you in my community. And if I don't, well, just know that you've got this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.